Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, November 12th, and I'm looking at the DAX this morning. The DAX is in a corrective wave. I think that it is a WXY pattern because we seem to have this ABC, ABC, and then there's some weird pattern here. It could be another ABC for a wave Y, and my target is around 18,800. However, it doesn't have to be a WXY. It can be an ABC. This whole thing right here can be another ABC. And then we can have five wave move down, taking us down to the target or a little bit below. So the DAX is not going to move anywhere. You can, of course, go long the DAX. Go long the DAX at a break of this. So 19,566. This is your long zone for the DAX. And the reason why I check the DAX all the time is because I do not like to trade the S&P when the DAX and the S&P are not moving together. It's a safety concern. It's a way to protect myself. If the DAX is going up and the US markets are going up, then I am safe. So this is why the DAX is so important to me. The problem with the DAX and the worry that I have on this morning is that you can see this was my wave 4. My wave 4 was Monday, August 24th. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5-wave move. You have a 5-wave move from that August low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you have this corrective wave here, ABC. Is this corrective wave? Is this a wave 2? And we're going to go into wave 3? I don't know. That would work with the US stock market count. But I would like to see the DAX go up because anything can happen. If the DAX starts to crash, if the DAX were to start to crash, by the way, I do not think the DAX is going to crash, but if the DAX were to start to crash, it would take the S&P with it. And that is important. The reason why I'm looking at the DAX today is because on the S&P, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That count is still valid. We have 5 waves or very close to 5-wave move up on that Trump rally. This is the Trump rally. This big green bar here, this is the Trump election day. And we have to be careful. I and pretty much everybody else, because of Bitcoin and the stocks and Tesla, we think that this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and going upwards, right? But because of the weakness in the DAX, we have to be careful. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we actually do a much deeper correction. So what you're going to do, here's what you're going to do, is so we have a huge put call wall. The call wall is huge at 6,000. There is a ton of calls at 6,000. Then there is a ton of calls above 6,030. The market is probably not going to go over those calls on the first try. Here was the first try, right? 6026. That was the first try. It ain't going to do it on the first try. So what you need to do is you need to say, right now, we have an ABC with this being the B wave, 6005.8 being the top of the B wave. You could risk a long at 6006 at this high at 6006, right? With a stop at wherever this stops. I'm going to write this down in the chart. I'm going to take the time to write this down onto the chart. So for the record, I don't think this is going to be a ABC. I think we're actually going to drop a little lower. So we have two options. We drop only to around 970, and then the market continues upward past the call wall at 6040, or we drop lower, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get a much bigger correction, which I think, if this is the ES, this is the futures, This is the continuous contract, but in reality, the S&P, the real trading hour S&P, has a gap at 9:30. I do feel like we're going to fill that gap. And if everything looks good, if the DAX does not crash, and if everything looks good, then I would go long at the filling of that gap. So 936, I think, is the top of the gap. I would absolutely take a long position there. But it is a little risky. And we have to, it's always risky. It's the stock market. It's always risky. So let's wait and let's see how this develops. Because if this market is bullish, DAX will do a WXY, S&P will do an ABC, and we'll be able to see it. We'll be able to find the B wave. We can go long at the B wave, and we'll be happy. Everything will be good. So that's my plan, is to continue to watch the market with the goal of buying at 9:30 if everything looks okay. Or when it hits 9:30, you find the B wave and then you go long at the top of the B wave, however that's going to look.